Nani and Christian are on Air Flagcoco starting now.
It's been a minute since I've held you down. This song right here goes out to my town. Flagstaff, Arizona, I'm proud. Put your hands up in the air if you're feeling me now. It's been a minute since I've held you down. This song right here goes out to my town. Flagstaff, Arizona, I'm proud. Put your hands up in the air if you're feeling me now.
Do you remember Danny Neal breaking up the fights? I used to live at the rec, son.
Yes, I remember Danny Neal. And I get to see him today. Hi everyone, it's Russell from Flagcoco. And like always, I'm celebrating the best high school rivalry in Arizona. It's tough to get guests these days. Thanks to all the cancellations last month, the schools have had to make up a lot of games here at the end of the hoop season. And losing Monday's games for the same reason made things even tougher. I give these kids a lot of credit for getting their schoolwork done, fighting through aches and pains, dealing with the setbacks Mother Nature has chucked their way. So if they didn't have time for a conversation with Mr. Flagcoco, it's all good. That makes me more thankful for the two who were able to make it for the show. Both Eagles. And before you ask about balance, if you include my pilot episode, I've had 6 Eagles on the show, 5 Panthers, and 1 grandson. And then, of course, yours truly, Coconino class of 1987. Joining me today from the Lady Eagles is Noni Thomas. And from football and basketball, Christian Singleton. If you want me to talk about politics and controversy, there's plenty of it right now on our Facebook page. This podcast is for the kids and for the people who want to talk about the game at hand. And here's what the game at hand, being the quote-unquote season finale, is all about. And I gotta say it like that because with yet another round of cancellations due to weather, the games on Friday may not be the end of the regular season. I know the Coconino girls have to make up their game against Prescott on Saturday. Flag Eye girls will be making up the Centennial game on Thursday. Flag High boys have to make up the Trevor Brown game for the second time, and I'm not sure when that's going to happen. As it stands right now, the Lady Eagles are number 12 in Division 2. Lady Panthers are number 16. And unless something mind-blowing happens, they both will be seated high in next week's sectionals, and they ought to both qualify for the state tournament. Flag High boys are number 10 and looking to get a bye in the sectionals. And then who knows? If they get into the top 8, they may get a bye as well in the first round of state. For the Coconino boys, this is their last hurrah. And a team with nothing to lose can be dangerous. They played Flag High tough in the first half last week. So this week, if everyone dresses, and if they can stay close, if they can give everything they have for 4 quarters, it should remain a game all the way to the end. I'll be in town early. Be visiting schools, chatting with folks, and getting to Flag High early to watch all the games. I don't know what the schedule's going to be off the top of my head, but if it's like last year, both Flag High gyms will see 3 games apiece. I believe the freshmen and JV starting at 3:30 or 4. And I think the varsity girls will be in the main gym, tip off at 5:30. And that's where you'll see Noni Thomas in action.
Oh, first, before we start, can I
Sure.
introduce myself, like, in my language, my Navajo language?
You know, I would be delighted if you spoke in your native language.
Okay. Shay Najoni Thomas, Yinishia, Haragat Ninishla, Nakadine, Bashishchi, Bitani Dashche, Do, Bilagana Dashinala.
Your name, Nizani, means beautiful, is that right?
Yeah, yes it is.
Yes. So how's your family been?
We've been good. Just getting through, the tragedy day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, when I saw you did the car wash in March, It shouldn't have surprised me, but it surprised me that you had not just all your teammates helping you, but all the Coconino teammates as well. Because I didn't understand until I watched you guys over the summer how close all of you were.
Yeah, I've been playing with a lot of the girls since we were younger. We, like JJ and Jaleesa, we played junior sons when we were about kindergarten. And just growing up, we played NJB together with Shay, Jocelyn, like 3rd, 4th grade. So, yeah, we've grown up together.
They got you playing the post. From what I've seen, they always got you posting up. Are you comfortable doing that? Playing the post? I mean, I know you play forward, but when you're setting up your offense and Monique is bringing it down, you're always setting up on the block.
Yeah.
I didn't see you do that before. Is that something you developed this year, or?
No, I've been doing that since my freshman year. I've, been the big player on the court, playing the post.
Well, are you more comfortable doing the post, or are you more comfortable out on the fast break?
I guess it just usually depends, who I'm playing with. Like for high school, there's sometimes I'm running down, on fast breaks, and other times I'll just be posting up.
When you were running the break over the summer, it was JJ running the fast break. Last year, I think you had Rachel Hernandez. That was your point guard. Is it more Monique this year at your point guard running the fast break?
Yeah, Monique. We have Monique and Michaela Bagoody and Shay Tohi. They're pretty fast. Like on our fast breaks, they look up on the court, look for whoever's up.
I remember in the summer, and I remember all last year. Like I said, I apologize for not getting to watch you guys much this year. Just things happen. But the most vivid picture in my mind, whether it was the summer or last year, is Shay on one side of the fast break, one side of the court, you on the other side, just two twin blurs going down your lanes. I know Coach Jay has his set offenses, but do you try to push the tempo whenever you can, or is it something that just comes out of the flow?
I think it comes pretty much naturally. Just Shay and I just like going on a fast break, trying to beat each other up the court and trying to get open.
One thing I've noticed with all four teams this year is that everybody plays really good defense. The one play you made against Coconino in the Pepsi tournament pretty much sealed the win. Shay hit the 2 free throws with less than 2 seconds left. And I think it was you that tipped Marissa's inbounds pass to end the game. Is that right?
Yeah, that was me. I think maybe my volleyball skills definitely helped.
Yeah, I was going to ask about volleyball because you guys made it to the Final Four in volleyball this year, right? I know each has its own challenge, but do you prefer volleyball or basketball?
I would say basketball. I've been playing it pretty much my whole life.
Okay.
Volleyball, I just picked up towards the end of middle school.
Oh, so you haven't been playing it. Well,
yeah, not as
volleyball
much
is one of. Yeah, volleyball is usually not one of those games until you start middle school or you're a freshman in high school. Basketball, you play since you're a little kid.
Yeah. Do you mind if I go back to the car wash? I would like to say something.
Nani, this is conversation, so whatever you want to bring up,
Okay.
go right ahead. I know we just touched on the car wash, but if you,
Yeah.
what about the car wash?
I would just like to, thank my whole Flagstaff, the whole Flagstaff community. They helped out a lot, especially both high school, Flagstaff and Coconino.
Oh yeah, when you guys were sending me pictures that day, I was at work, and I didn't want to really be at work. I would have much rather been in Flagstaff that day, maybe pitching in with you guys. But you guys were sending me pictures, and I was putting them on Facebook, and it looked like you got a lot of folks coming in. Because usually when I see teenagers doing a car wash, you got 5 kids on the corner hooping and hollering, and one guy washing the one car behind Chili's. But it looked like this time you had a whole row coming in, you had dozens coming in. It looked like you guys were pretty busy.
I think a lot of it was, social media. A lot of people were sharing, the picture of my grandpa and I advertising the car wash and stuff like that.
Because from everything you were putting on Facebook, you were pretty close to your grandfather.
Yeah, I was.
I unfortunately, if I met your grandfather, it was maybe in passing in the stands during a game. Maybe I said hi to him, maybe I shook his hand. I wouldn't know. I apologize for that. That's one reason why I do these podcasts now, so I get to know people better. But if there's one thing you would like me or other people who never met your grandfather to know about him, what would you say about him?
I would say he was, he was a Vietnam veteran. He was a medical.
Oh, was he like a medic?
Yeah, he was a medic.
So he was in the middle of combat then?
Yeah, he was 173rd Airborne.
Okay.
He was a very hard worker. He had a heart of gold. He loved helping others. He was definitely my number one fan.
Is he from Flagstaff like you, or did he grow up on the reservation, or?
Yeah, he grew up on the reservation. He lived in Canta with my grandmother.
Okay. How is your grandmother doing?
He's doing well. He's rebuilding, taking it day by day.
I know no matter how much money you got at the car wash, it wouldn't have been enough. But did that money you made at the car wash and the donations that came in, did that help?
Yes, it helped a lot.
Good. I don't know if you pay attention to what I put on Facebook.
Yeah, I do.
I was doing the top 10 pictures of the year, or the top 10 events. I can't remember. It was top 10 pictures. And I think number 5 was the car wash. So that whole event, the fact that I dipped my toe in that whole thing, and I was one of those that got on social media and spread the word and got the guys at CAF Radio to mention something about it, and it helped you out. So
yeah, thank you for that. That was very thoughtful.
Yeah. Well, you and I chatted a bit on Facebook about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I'll say it like this, okay? Ever since the death of Zach Bierman, not that I knew him well, but he was sort of like you are, in that I chatted with him once or twice on Twitter and Facebook, and I posted his picture two or three times, and he's a kid I knew, but I didn't know, you know?
Yeah.
So one of the main reasons why I'm doing these podcasts, even though I live in Phoenix and I don't get much of a chance to get to know you guys, even though I talk about you guys all the time, and I watch your games and I talk to your coaches, and I do the best I can, I don't get much of a chance. So his death sort of inspired me to do this. So that's why I'm, up until this point, I probably knew you a little better than I knew Zach. Even though you were more active on Facebook and the number 2 picture of the year was the picture of me with you guys at the Elite Squad, and I'm standing right next to you. And I just don't want to go not knowing you guys, like just reporting on you guys. I don't want to just be a reporter. I want to be part of this. So that's why when the car wash happened, not that I knew you, but you're a Flagstaff kid, so therefore I felt like I should have helped. And I think that's why people donated, even if they didn't know you. You were a Flagstaff Eagle, you're a Flagstaff kid, and you needed some help, so we all pitched in. Not that it would have done a whole lot of good, but every little bit helps, and I think you're one of those that understand it's not how much we gave, it's the fact that we all gave. Well, I'm putting it completely wrong, but I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Okay. Okay, good. You beat Coconino in the Pepsi tournament. Last week was a great game, but you came up a little short. What are you going to have to do to beat Coconino this time? Next week?
Definitely our defense. I believe our defense this past game wasn't our best. We could definitely improve on it.
Is it something that you've been working on the last few games, especially last night?
Yeah, I think our defense our past game was pretty good. But I think something that could also help us for our Coco game would be also our offense. I think our shots weren't going in. They were, bouncing out. We got good shots up. They just weren't, falling.
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't there, but the only thing I heard about your offense is that Shay was draining the three-pointers early.
Yeah, she did good on her threes.
Everyone calls you and Shay twins, so I got to ask. Is there one thing she does that just bugs you, or is there one thing you do that just bugs the hell out of her? Or one thing, is there music she likes that you just go, oh, you got to turn that off? Or is there something, I don't know. I know you two are best friends and maybe sisters to an extent. But as such, you got to drive each other up the wall a little bit. No?
Well, there's definitely, some things that we have different, but it doesn't really, affect us. Like, we listen to different musics. But, we're pretty much sisters,
Mm-hmm.
We just love each other. And we have a little fights now and then, but we just make up and still love each other at the end of the day.
I asked her when I interviewed her a couple podcasts ago. She said there was sort of a rivalry between the two of you in terms of effort on the court and scoring. Who's leading in scoring right now? Who's scoring more points a game these days? Is it you or her?
I can't really say. I think it definitely varies on the game. You know, if we start off strong, like whoever has a good game, like if either one of us is playing good, yeah.
So it's just a matter of who's hot on a given night.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if Shay is hitting the threes, there's just give it to her. She's going to score 15 or 20. Just let her go with it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I want to bring up summer ball. How many tournaments did you guys win? I mean, not just with the elite squad, but you played on several teams this summer, didn't you?
I played with the elite squad, yeah, in flag hoops.
Yeah, I know you played with the elite squad and you won like 4 or 5 tournaments. Was it Flagstaff Hoops, the one that Coach Jay was coaching?
Yes.
And you won?
I believe we won one tournament out of maybe 2 or 3.
You played 3 tournaments and you won one of them?
I believe so.
In last year's state tournament, you lost to the eventual champion, Maricopa. Have you been using that game to inspire you to do a little better this year?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I believe it. Like, last year, losing to the team that took it all the way, like, pushes us to, go further this year in state.
Well, you guys have had a great year so far. I mean, the first loss you had was in a tournament to a team in California, and then you lost to Seton Catholic, which I'm guessing you guys take that as a sort of a heat check game.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I mean, at the time you were ranked, I think, number 2 or 3 in the state. I actually watched that game. It was on the AIA network. So I watched that game. That was kind of a cool night because I was watching your game, and on a different feed, Coconino was playing Ironwood. So I was watching you on the internet at the same time I was watching them on the internet. I've talked to people. Some school districts have their own streaming network, like the Peoria School District has. They have one. That's how I could watch the Coconino game. There's one in Kingman. I was watching the Coconino football game. They were playing Lee Williams. One of these days, we need to pin somebody down and have one for Flagstaff, and just have like a game of the week, because you guys deserve more coverage than you're getting. I mean, both you and the Lady Panthers are playing some really good ball these days, and unfortunately, you just get a couple paragraphs in the paper, and the coaches talk a little bit to the reporter, and that's it. Then you move on to the next game. I think there should be a game of the week or something, but that's just me. If I had money, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I would definitely give us, more credit to both, like, both high school girls basketball to be recognized.
It'll give you more exposure, but it would also do is I mean, your team has been in the top 10 all year. I hope there's a few recruiters that are watching you guys. That, you know, at least some coaches from the community colleges down here or some of the smaller colleges around the state are taking a look at you guys. I mean, I know it's Flagstaff, so inherently, because you're not in Phoenix, no one's going to pay attention. But, you know, I'd like to think that the schools could, you know, come up with something to give you guys as much of a chance to get recruited as possible, you know.
That would definitely be nice.
Yeah. I know some of the kids have profiles on Huddle and some of the other recruiting. Do you have a recruiting profile?
I do have a Huddle account, but there isn't anything on there yet.
Okay. Well, as soon as, because I pay attention to those kind of things. I've seen, you know, like I don't know if Shay's dad has. I'm sure he does. Has some videotape of her somewhere on the internet that he's been putting on recruiters and some of the girls over at Coconino. Is there? I know you're just a junior. I know you're a junior, but have you considered which colleges you might want to look into next year?
I haven't really thought about it, any like specific colleges, but junior college I would definitely like to look into for maybe about 2 years and then improve with the junior college and then hopefully get recruited by maybe a university, higher level, like D1.
Well, if you were just daydreaming about what D1 school you'd like to go to, what D1 school would you like to go to? I know when you're a senior, you'll be a little more specific, but you're a junior, so we can, if you're going to dream big.
I would say ASU. That's probably my dream school.
Stay in state?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when local kids stay in state. They don't do it very often anymore, but I always cheer when some of the kids here in Phoenix or Flagstaff, even if they go to Yavapai College, I mean, you're still in state. You know, I try to follow kids when they graduate, but they end up going all over the place. You know, schools in Nevada or especially I don't know why Colorado, but last year like 4 or 5 kids went to Colorado and Nebraska. Why, I don't know, but they did. So
I would definitely look into Colorado, like Fort Lewis.
Fort Lewis?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one school maybe I'm looking into. And GCU.
Well, I think Shay wanted to go to GCU and California Baptist, and she got California Baptist, is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for this opportunity. Definitely an honor
okay.
being interviewed by you.
Well, I'm not kicking you to the curb yet. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout-out to?
My mom, my dad, my grandmother.
Okay.
I'm
going to start doing a better job of talking these podcasts up, because as it is right now, I just sort of put it out there, say, hey, there it is, and I don't advertise. I don't push it on anybody just because I don't want to be obnoxious about it. But I will start making more of an effort to talk these up. So hopefully instead of 130 people watching this, it'll be 230 or 300. probably just all students or families and coaches, that kind of thing. But it'll be on the internet forever. So if you want to say hi to your future children, this would be a good time to do it. I promise when I come up on Friday, I will be more talkative than I have been at the past.
Okay.
I mean, when you were playing in the summer, that picture of me posing with you girls with the number 2 picture of the year on Flagcoco. And it's for a reason. It's because I really liked watching you guys, and you guys, at least all your parents seem to like Mr. Flagcoco being in the stands with them. And I've interviewed Shay, I've interviewed JJ, I'm now interviewing you, and there's still a lot of school year left. I hope to interview more of you. But I didn't say anything to you guys. I know you kind of knew who I was, but I didn't say anything to you. And I apologize because I had a chance to shake your hand and tell you great game and ask you how your family was doing back then, and I didn't. So I'm very sorry that I didn't, Nani. That's
okay.
Well, I know it's okay, but still, you know. I mean, I gotta open up. I gotta be more friendly. That's why I'm doing these things. So I promise when I come up on Friday, I will be the life of the party. Okay?
All right.
All right.
I look forward to that.
Well, I will be there early. When I come up to Flagstaff for these things, whether it's the big football game or the season finale in basketball, it's an all-day event, so I have people all day long. So I will be at Flag High very early, and I'll be all over town, and hopefully we'll get a chance to actually talk. You know, sit in the stands during the JV girls game, and well, Coach Neil is doing his thing. You and I and Shay and Monique and everybody were just sitting in the stands shooting the breeze. And then I go over to the Cochineal girls and do the same thing and just have some fun. I don't get to do it a whole lot down here in Phoenix, so that's why I come up to Flagstaff. So I look forward to watching you guys, and I look forward to actually talking to you. And
Me too.
All right. Eagle number 2 up tonight was starting quarterback his sophomore and junior seasons, and he's coming off the bench for varsity basketball. I wanted to have him on when I was originally going to do these podcasts in August, but better late than never, right? Say hello to Christian Singleton.
Okay. First of all, thank you for giving me a call tonight.
Yeah. Nice to talk.
Yeah. I know everybody's really busy. I know that especially you guys have to be making up games from the last set of games you had postponed because of the weather. I guess the first question I have is it snowing tonight?
No, it's not snowing right now. It's supposed to snow a lot tonight, so our game might be canceled tomorrow, and that would be like the second time this game's been rescheduled.
That's the Trevor Brown game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was sprinkling here in Phoenix today, and usually when it's sprinkling here, it's starting to snow up there. But not quite yet?
No, it's supposed to start at 11. It's raining a little bit. I don't think it's cold enough yet.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. I mean, I know you guys lost a whole week of school because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember snow days. I used to love snow days growing up, but after you've had a whole week of it, it starts getting a little old, especially when you got things planned like the end of your season coming up.
Yeah, we'll have 4 games in a row if it keeps happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you don't play a Monday and you got to get this all done by Friday, yeah, you'd have to, because I know you got Trevor Brown tomorrow, and then the game after that, you got to come down here the next day for Greenway.
Yeah.
And that's a big one because I've got the standings for for the section, and Apollo is still undefeated in the section, and so is Greenway.
Yeah.
And you guys are 6-1, so you've got to beat Greenway.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. I mean, you don't have to. You've already if you lose to Greenway and Coconino this week, you can't do any worse than third place in your section. So you're going to be in the sectionals, and you're ranked 11th in the state, so you're going to be in the state tournament. Those are givens, but you always like to end as strong as possible.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a first-round bye in the section tournament, so get those first 2 seeds, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you can get past Greenway, you know, you're probably, well, you still got to be, because you always play Coconino twice, but only one of those games counts as a sectional game. And I don't know if it's that last one or it's this one that counts.
Yeah, it's the last one that counts.
So there's quite a bit riding on that. I know that across town they're looking to trip you guys up if they can.
Mhm. Yeah.
You guys have won 9 games in a row by my count. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
And the last time you lost was to Apollo.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at that game, and you guys got down early, but once you guys got yourselves back in sync, you gave them a run. You almost pulled that game out.
Mhm.
So are you looking forward to playing Apollo in the sectionals?
Yeah, it should be a good game. They're our biggest competition in the section for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, I know it was the first game back after the long layoff from the last storm, so I know you guys were rusty in that first half.
Mhm.
Did you guys feel like as the game wore on, you started to gel a little better and your shots started to fall a little better?
Yeah, we didn't really get to practice for like almost a whole week and no games and anything, so like it was kind of, we were all rusty and stuff, so it felt like we got into the groove a little bit.
Were you able to I know you weren't able to practice as a team, but were you able to get any sort of exercise in?
Yeah, like we went to the gym and did some shoot around and stuff with like ourselves and stuff, like, because we're all friends and stuff, so we'd like meet up at the gym and shoot around and stuff.
Mhm. Okay. You played JV last year, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's the biggest, other than it being varsity versus JV, what's the biggest thing you've had to adjust to moving up to varsity?
Like, every game just means a lot more because, like, it's not like you're just like, it's like in JV, it doesn't really matter. Like, you want to win, obviously, but like the wins don't matter as much because, like, you don't have as much riding on it, like, to try to get the highest seed, you know, and like try to make the playoffs and stuff. And every win is just like means that much more at the varsity level.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because JV, you just play 15, 18 games, and then that's it. You don't talk about playoffs or rankings or anything.
Yeah.
Because I actually wanted to try to get you for football season.
Yeah. I won't. Yeah.
I was considering doing these podcasts starting in August, but things sort of fell through.
Yeah, I remember I was gonna do one, but yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah, well, now it's working out.
Yeah.
You started as a sophomore and as a junior as quarterback. What was the biggest hurdle you had to go over from being a sophomore to a junior, or was there any?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm more of like a leader because, like, as a sophomore, like, you're like still a leader because, you know, you're the quarterback and stuff, but like, it's like seniors are just like 2 years older and they're just like, you know, it's like, haven't really played with them before, so it was a lot different. But junior year, I like played with all the same guys and stuff, and I was already like in that leader spot, so like it was easier and like felt more comfortable being the leader on the team.
Do you see that growing when you start your senior year?
Yeah, I'm trying to, you know, be a big leader for the team and try to have a successful season.
who all is going to be coming back for next year?
Well, we got our running back, Austin.
Cool.
The linebacker, he's on. We have some linemen coming back. We have some good receivers. Trying to get some more basketball guys out there, like I did last year.
Yeah, I remember Bridger didn't play until this last year.
Yeah, he didn't play till the senior year.
Right, and I don't know if Mitch Thompson was the same way.
Yeah, he was the same.
So when you say a couple basketball players, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about like George. He played his freshman year, and he's
George Fall?
Yeah. Trying to get him to play. I don't know if he is yet, but get him to play again. He played last year, so. And, yeah, just trying to get some more athletes on the field. And Will.
What was the biggest difference between Coach Rasconi and Coach Dirksen, who took over this year? What, other than maybe some X and O things, what's the one thing you took away that you gained from this year as opposed to last year?
I would just say, like, experience, because Dirksen's been coaching the game for, like, a really long time. So, like, he knows, like, everything you want to know about football and stuff and all the situations, and he's been through it all, you know. I mean, he's been coaching his whole life, and so, like, experience and just knowing what to do and, like, organization and stuff, and just, like, I mean, he's been through it.
I know his offense was a little unorthodox at times. Did it take you a little bit to get used to, you know, at least coming out of the huddle, which might have been the most superficial thing, but was even that, did it take a little bit to get used to that?
Yeah, it's different, but you got used to it and stuff, and it was a new approach to it, and took it on.
And once you understood why you were doing it, it made sense?
Yeah, he had a whole concept around it that he told us and stuff, and it made sense.
Okay. Your team's motto was, and I've actually got a T-shirt hanging on my wall.
Yeah,
one heartbeat.
Yeah.
The power of one. What does that mean to you?
It's just like being a team, and like Dirksen always tells us this like simile, I guess, or like this like symbol of it is like a bunch of like fish, like they're like there's like pot of fish all together, and they like swim through together, and there's like a thousand of them all together and stuff. And then like once a big predator comes, they all like split up, and they just like and they like stay together and stuff to like intimidate other predators, even though they're small, so they can intimidate like big fish and stuff. So like just like staying together, basically, like it means like just teamwork, you know.
Mhm. I had a backup question for that. So you see your team more like a pack of piranhas as opposed to one or two superstars leading the team?
Yeah, because like the more people you have behind something, the stronger and better your team's going to be.
I always keep my eye out for recruiting videos. Do you have a account on Huddle?
Yeah, we all have account on Huddle. Like our like booster club gives us each like an account and stuff.
Mm. Has your dad been putting videos on, or is that something the coach?
Yeah, like I have like an account, and I just like put my highlights on and stuff, and it's just on Huddle under like my name and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You didn't play defense at all last year, did you?
No, I played a little bit sophomore year, but last year I didn't play any.
I was going to say, because that defense sometimes was awesome. I watched you guys play two games, the Goldwater game and the rivalry game, Coconino.
Yeah, Goldwater game, our defense played amazing that game.
Well, I saw the second half of that game, and Goldwater just scored in the fourth quarter, and it was 14-7, and then almost out of the blue, the defense came up with 3 touchdowns on their own.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's some of the most awesome defense I've seen come out of Flagstaff in a while.
Yeah, our defense stepped up this year.
Yeah, that was Coach Paul Wolf running the defense. Was that right?
Yeah, Coach Wolf, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you had no part of that, is what you're trying to tell me, right?
Nah, I wasn't on the defense.
Okay.
Okay, I brought up Coach Dirksen. I've had two of your basketball teammates on already, Bridger and Brett. And I think in both cases we talked a little bit about Coach Kirk. Is there one thing about Coach Kirk that you think sums up his philosophy, or something that he says in practice that you take with you through the rest of your day?
Just like being, just like being a team and running the floor hard and energy all the time. And he just preaches just always having energy and being together and supporting each other and stuff and just having fun out there. Playing, yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed this year, and I brought this up to the other guys, that I've watched Flag High basketball and Coach Kirk for about 4 years now, and this is the most relaxed. Not that he's ever relaxed, but this is the most relaxed I've ever seen him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you...
I mean, maybe just because he's been with all of us for a long time, so... I mean, he trusts us and just knows us and stuff. Cause, especially the seniors, he's been coaching them for 3 years and stuff. And then, so it's just a group that we've been together a long time and knows us all. I feel like that kind of contributes to that.
I know it's a little early because you're still a junior, but do you have a couple of colleges lined up, a wish list put together?
Yeah, I like staying in state, or I'm going to see if there's any opportunities in football that I can pursue. So just waiting on see what happens with that.
Nobody, haven't had any recruiters call you yet, or?
I've had some interest letters and stuff, and been to a few camps and stuff, but haven't received any offers yet.
Okay. Why quarterback? I mean, I was always a big kid, so it was natural for me to play line. Yeah. And typically, the quarterbacks we had when we were growing up were just any regular athlete. There was nothing any particular special, mostly because we ran the ball a lot.
Uh-huh.
But I know you passed a lot when you were a sophomore, and it was more balanced in offense this year. But what made you want to try out for quarterback?
I don't know. I've been playing it since 7th grade, and I always had an arm. And I remember 7th grade I started playing it, and I just fell in love with the position. Just being in I just being the leader on the field, and just having my teammates back and stuff, and just I just loved throwing the ball, and it's just I've always had fun with it and stuff. And even though there's some pressure with it, it just, I don't know, I feel the reward is better.
Have you been to any camps?
Yeah, I've been to, last year I went to quite a few in Colorado and Arizona.
Is there anything particular that you learned over last summer that you didn't know when you were a sophomore?
Just coverages. I learned more about how to read coverages and what to do on different coverages, when you see a cover 2 or a cover 3, where to hit the sweet spots and where to hit the zones inside of that,
Well, I haven't played football since the mid-'80s, so you're going to have to educate me just a little bit here. Okay, when you're sitting up under center, and you've called a pass play, what is it you start looking for when you know where the ball is supposed to go, and you know who your primary receivers are? What is it you start looking for when you're under center and you start calling the signal?
Well, I really like the safeties first, because they usually tell you everything. Because if you see one safety in the middle, then you already know it's going to be a cover 1 or a cover 3 off the bat. And if you see 2 safeties splitting the field, it's going to be a cover 2 or a cover 4. So you can kind of tell right off the bat from the safeties. And then right after you look at the safeties, off of that, you can like tell if the corners are in man or zone, and then you can then like your routes coordinate with like different. You hit different routes with different coverages and stuff.
Well, I know that if you run somebody in motion and you've got
a defensive player running along with them, they're automatically playing man.
Yeah.
Did Dirks never run motion to ferret out whether they were running a man or a zone?
We didn't do that much motion this year.
Okay.
We were like more like quick snap, so we didn't really like do any motions because it was on the line and snap it really quick, you know.
Okay, so you start by reading the safeties.
Yeah. Easiest way to tell.
I am going to be in town for the rivalry game on February 5th.
Mhm.
You've already played Coconino once. What are you looking forward to when you play them at your gym in the finale?
Just for like a good game, and it's exciting to play them in our home gym, and it's going to be senior night, so it's going to be cool for all of our seniors. You know, last game, it's kind of like sad, but also like nice to have that last game, and it's cool because it's Coco, so like excited for them, and it should be an exciting atmosphere.
I went to the finale last year, and it was at Coconino, and that was a wild night. I really liked that night. Do you think it's going to be the same sort of thing when we do this finale on Friday?
Yeah, our last game against Coco, there's a lot of people there, and it was really like good, huge like atmosphere and stuff. So I feel like it's going to be the same for the finale, if not bigger, because it's senior night.
I'm trying to remember because I only read about the game last week against the Panthers because they were hanging with you in the first half. Is that right? They were only down like 28-20.
Yeah, it was close it was pretty close in the first half, and kind of took off in the second half.
Did you guys? Was there anything you guys did to pull away, or do you think they just ran out of gas, or?
I think it was maybe a little bit of both. I think we just kind of just woke up and just like started playing better as a team and had better energy out there.
Yeah, because the one thing I've noticed is that you've got height under the boards.
Yeah,
other than Brett, you've got Austin Brain, you've got George Fall, and Coconino just has James Hampshire, and he's been out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, he didn't play against us.
Yeah. Well, it's starting to rain now, is it? Nah. I hate the rain in Phoenix. It only lasts for 10 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's coming up there. You all know it's coming.
Yeah, there's 6 inches predicted, I think.
6 inches tonight, huh?
Yeah, 5 to 9, I think. I just saw 5 to 9.
Well, I hope it doesn't affect you guys playing tomorrow night and the rest of the year.
Yeah, if we get 5 to 9, I bet we won't be able to play tomorrow. We'll see that. Sometimes predictions are wrong.
Well, even if you got a snow day schedule, you're still gonna be calling that game off, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like a rule. If you have a snow day, you can't play the game.
Yeah. I remember we still played games even if it was a snow day schedule, even if we came in late. But that was 30 years ago, so I know everything's changed by now.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to look at this, and if you have tomorrow's game canceled, that means you'd
probably Wednesday.
Hopefully if even if you have off tomorrow, you still can play the Greenway game on Tuesday, but then I don't know. You guys this whole season's been screwy because of the weather.
Yeah,
and
we've had a lot of reschedules.
More power to you guys for putting it all together, and you're on this streak, and hopefully you're peaking at just the right time.
I think we have.
After this week, you got sectionals, and hopefully another nice long run in the state tournament.
Yep, that's the goal.
The seniors, the last 2 years, they've lost to the eventual state champions. Last year they lost to Gilbert Christian, and that was a tough game. They took them to overtime and eventually lost.
Yeah.
The year before, they're in the state championship game. Do those seniors
talk about how important every game is? Or do they what do the seniors say to the underclassmen about what to be expected this year?
They just talk about like taking advantage of every game and like making sure that we like, even like when we maybe not playing like a great team that's like as good as the teams are going to meet in the state playoffs and stuff, but like take those games seriously and try to get better, because we got to get ready for those big games, because so far the 3 really big games we've had, we've dropped. So we got to like work on in big game situations and stuff and take advantage of those playoffs. And because you never know like what game is going to be the game that you lose, and if you win that game, who knows, you could end up winning the state championship, because you could be that team that goes all the way after that.
Mm-hmm. I agree that every, you're to the point where it's not just every game that counts, it's every possession counts.
Uh-huh.
I mean, especially, like I said, you've got Greenway coming up, and that's a big game as in terms of what the sectional standings would be, and Coconino, you always want to finish strong heading into the sectionals, and if you win those 2 games, you'll get a bye, and
yeah.
Well, good luck to you, Christian.
Thank you.
And I will try to be at the Greenway game, because that's Tuesday night, and usually work and transportation work out okay for me to go to a game on Tuesday night, and Greenway's in my neighborhood, so hopefully I can come to that game. If not, I will see you Friday.
All right. Sounds good.
And
this.
Well, it's my pleasure, Christian. And yeah, I know we tried to do this back in August and September, and you're an underclassman, so hopefully I get to have these sort of conversations with you a couple more times before you graduate.
Yeah, maybe before football season or something.
Yeah, and then I'm in the stands once in a while, and you'll see me on Friday, and every year I try to add a little more to Flagcoco. This year it's the podcasts, and by the time the rivalry game comes around for football again, hopefully I've got a couple more items attached to it, and if I can get you and some of the other Eagles and Panthers involved, the more they get involved with this, the better this whole thing becomes.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for this edition of Air Flagcoco. Hopefully next time I have a Panther or 2 as well. Thank you, Noni and Christian, for coming on board. I hope to see you all at War Memorial Gymnasium for some great hoops action. It should be a great night in more ways than one. My grandson won't be able to make it. He's got school, and he's a Phoenix kid, and he's going to freeze like a brick if he gets that cold mountain air on him. So next time you come down to the valley and you see us together in the bleachers, please come on over and say hi.
It's been a minute since I've held you down. This song right here goes out to my town. Flagstaff, Arizona, I'm proud. Put your hands up in the air if you're feeling me now. It's been a minute since I've held you down. This song right here goes out to my town. Flagstaff, Arizona, I'm proud. Put your hands up in the air if you're feeling me now.
In 1882, the first man settled. 100 years later, I was born as a rebel. Grew up in the ghetto on the east of the meadow, where the train tracks divided my town right down the middle. I'm proud of my home where the buffalo roam. There's ghosts in my town, but I'm not talking Jerome. You can hike